Welcome to DELA, the Demon Whisperer. Want to do your daily reading today, or as I probably should call it, your nightly reading, just to kind of get an idea of the general energies of the next day's cycle. It's interesting while I was preparing for this particular reading, just getting permission to move forward and do this reading. The Two of Clubs. Oh, you can't see it. There it is. The Two of Clubs card came out, which is the card that tells us that we have the power to do magic, and it's our empowering card. So that's a good start. That's a good start for our very first reading together. So the purpose of these readings, as I said, is to just give us an idea of, as a collective, a general idea of the different energies that we're going to encounter, and just the advice that might be given to move through them. So first things first, I'm going to go ahead and shuffle the cards, and I'd like to know, what are the overall energies that the Demon Whisperer Collective will encounter in this next cycle before our next daily reading? Ooh, more. So some things are going to be a little bit hidden. There's a three of spades that tells us there might be a little bit of well, it could be either, that card is seen a couple different ways. It could either be a contract, an agreement. It has the energy of commitment, but it also could be a heartache, some sort of disappointment, because we know that that card in the Rider-Waite Tarot is a heart with three swords in it. And sometimes there's blood, but there is also the energies that go along with that. Wow. Wow. I'm gonna show all four of them to you at the same time, the energies that go along with that. So I'm led to believe this might be some sort of a contract that comes at the end of passing a test, mastering your financial ability and stewardship, understanding your options and what's certainly available to you, and mastering your work, your practice, and your power. That is amazing. I like that. Let me see if there's anything else that goes along with that. Let's see. Do you have and when I'm speaking, I'm really just speaking to the collective, the energy of the collective, our future energies as a collective, so that we can look back at what we may have experienced. Do you have any additional messages concerning the overall energies of the day? And it doesn't look like there are any additional messages concerning that. So let me just also ask about any unforeseen or unexpected, whether those be things that we might perceive to be positive or things that we might perceive to be negative. What are some of the unforeseens or unexpecteds that we might experience? There were two sets of cards that came out, this set and this set. So I'm going to read them as two separate messages. Let's see. Let me read that second message too and make sure I get a clear understanding. Okay. And it's interesting because I see a couple similarities. I see both of these cards are kind of related to relationships. And that's not something I typically would talk about unless it comes up. I don't usually go looking for information about that. And this four of clubs wants to jump and pop out a little bit. And the Four of Clubs is usually a card that comes right before conflict. It's a building up of energies, an anticipation of energy. Sometimes, because that is a fire card, that can be conflict, interaction, some kind of intense experience. But I also noticed that there's a Queen of Swords here too, which means that that same passion that's in that Four of Clubs might not be as reciprocated as one might want, as one might expect. And then there's a possibility that grows or even is escalated into a exchange of passion, um, with that six of fire there, because that six of fire comes after the conflict. That's usually the victory. That's usually, what comes after. And then it looks like what's unexpected that comes out of all of that is a new love, new relationship, new opportunity, a new opportunity in love. And it seems as though it really comes from choosing yourself as a priority after realizing that what you wanted and whatever wasn't giving you what you wanted, wasn't reciprocated. That Queen of Swords is like the ice queen. And so then that second message of what is unexpected, again, there's that Two of Hearts, which is the Lover's card. So we're still talking about relationships and that commitment. And then, wow, they might be kind of hand in hand. I don't know, because there's also like the Seven of Hearts, which talks about our options, right? And the Nine of Diamonds, which is that promise, that expectation, and the Two of Diamonds, which is the balance, the balancing of the energies and the balancing of what comes. But I also see the Queen of Spades, which I'm not sorry, the Queen of Clubs, which is that Queen of Fire, that passionate, beautiful, powerful woman. And the Nine of Spades, which is that card of anxiety. So it kind of sounds like almost the same message to me. Like, after, it's almost like after the love is gone, after you don't see what you want and you're not getting the reciprocation that you want, you choose yourself, and that leads to a new opportunity in love, which actually does manifest into that love. So whether that be a love for yourself, a love for something or someone else around you, a new ability to complete something or overcome something that you might have been hesitating with, or whatever, that's what I see as the unexpected for tomorrow, or for the day, which is basically love. I love it. I love it. And then let's talk about some of the obvious challenges that might come out before the next cycle, before the next reading. What are some of the, wow, okay. And we got some of those same, oh gosh, the same cards came back out again as the challenges. And they were the cards, the Nine of Spades, which is that card that usually tells us there's some anxiety, some mixed feelings, some uncertainty about something. And that Four of Clubs, which usually tells us there's an upcoming moment, the anticipation of a conflict or an obstacle or something that needs to be overcome. But then there's that Queen of Clubs too, which is the passionate woman, leading to the Two of Hearts. So, wow, when it comes to obstacles, I think the obstacle is going to be in the thinking, because we see a lot of power in the Four of Clubs and the Queen of Clubs. We see that power there, and we see that love there, right? And we know love is the highest power. So we see a lot of power, but we also see some mental anguish and some anxiety there. So I think the biggest obstacle is going to be the mind. So it's going to be the overcoming of that anxiety in a major way. So let me just see. We're just about to wrap this up. So what is the most likely outcome of the day for our collective in the world of love, in the world of relationships? What is the most likely outcome of the day? Wow, that's beautiful. Let me pull all these out because I want to do a few. So that's love and relationships. What's the most likely outcome of the day for finances? These are things we really worry about or concerned about and think about, things that really make or break our day. What is the most likely outcome in the world of finances? Ooh, wow, that's crazy, because that card also came out when we talked about the day, the energy of the day. And let me see, what is the most likely outcome of the day as it returns to like our physical health? Thank you. Oh, that's beautiful. So I'm gonna start backwards. Um, and one more came out, so I'm gonna take that. So as it pertains to our physical health and our well-being, our stability, the physical outcome is going to be an exchange of love. You see that six both in friendship and family. You know that Ten of Hearts is the happy family, the wish fulfilled, everything you could possibly want as it pertains to relationships, love, self-love, healing, feeling those loving feelings. And then that Six of Hearts is that exchange of love, that friendship, that camaraderie, that trust. So that's really good. That most likely outcome for our collective is good. And the most likely outcome for our finances is the Eight of Diamonds, right? The mastery of our work. Now, one thing about that Eight of Diamonds is it warns us not to become lackadaisical just because we've hit a smooth place in our work, but still keep our minds on our work and our minds on our money and our money on our mind. Make sure that we stay focused on what's important, even if we don't have to work, which is interesting because tomorrow is Saturday. And that's usually when we go out and waste money. So be a good steward over what you got. And then we asked about what was the most likely outcome as it pertained to love. And it's interesting because these cards, I think that, no, these cards did come out. I didn't do that backwards. The Ten of Diamonds, which is every single thing you want. The ultimate manifestation of every single thing that you've wanted, desired, hoped for, and dreamt for coming into your physical 3D realm where you can touch it, taste it, and feel it. And then you got the Nine of Diamonds, which talks about the promise, you know, the independence, the having what you want, having what you need, being okay, you know, not having to worry. These are really good cards. And then the Eight of Hearts, which is that mastery of love, knowing who you are, not settling for less, being cool with you, operating in your magic as it pertains to love and self-love. And then the Ace of Swords, which is the in my mind, in my heart, it talks about having more of a voice, having more of a mental strength, having more of an ability to think clearly and think well, so at the very end of the day you sleep well, because remember we saw that Nine of Swords before. So let me ask one overall question. What is the overall advice that would be offered from the collective to the collective as it pertains to the next cycle? And that's the Three of Diamonds. And that Three of Diamonds talks about partnership, knowing how to ask for help, knowing how to depend on your support circle, not trying to do everything on your own, and really just knowing that the manifestation of what you want is going to come from those around you. So that's all I got for you today. Thank you so much for joining me for this daily reading. Be sure to join me on Patreon, where our Patreon is the exact same name, and we'll see you there. Bye-bye.